The chair recognizes Councilwoman Quiñones-Sánchez, who will present a resolution recognizing State Representative Joanna McClinton. Would Representative McClinton and those accompanying her please join the Councilwoman at the podium? Good morning, Rep. How are you? Good. And joining Councilwoman Sanchez, we have Councilwoman Parker,
It's the women of council.
Councilwoman Bass, and Councilwoman Blackwell and Parker.
Good morning, all. Thank you all very much. I want to thank the women of council for joining me this morning. As many of you know, Election Day was a very good day in our country's history. For Pennsylvania, it meant significant women getting elected to Congress. But in Philadelphia, and actually I want to recognize Margot Davison, who was also elected chair of the Southeast delegation. I want to recognize her, Jordan Harris, who's the whip, and our very own Jason Dawkins, who's the Philadelphia delegation chair. But today it is all about Joanne.
Yes, that's right.
And we're going to do this for Joanna and only for Joanna. And we want to thank her so very much. Many of you see State Representative McClinton all over the city. And even though she represents a small sector of the city, she is one of the first people that has no problems crossing the city to lend her support to her colleagues all across the city. Being a good ally is an important part of being an effective leader. And it is that characteristic in Ms. McClinton that takes her to her leadership role here. It is about facilitating a process, ensuring that all voices are heard, and ultimately making tough decisions. We are incredibly proud of her. We look forward to her leadership. I know in this council body, sometimes we are not happy with what Harrisburg is doing, but it's good to know that we have a very strong delegation, and that in particular, we now have strong leadership from Representative McClinton. So with that, recognizing and congratulating and honoring State Representative Joanna McClinton for her continued dedication and service to the city of Philadelphia and for being elected the first African American and first woman to serve as the Pennsylvania State House Democratic Caucus chair. Can I get a round of applause for that? And let me add that she is highly qualified. And the fact that she's African American and a woman does not and should not take away from her high qualifications. And whereas a lifelong resident of Southwest Philadelphia, daughter of Elder Rachel McClinton, and the proud aunt of Desiree McClinton, State Representative Joanna McClinton was a graduate of Grace Temple Christian Academy, where she became active in the community while completing a 2-year internship with radio station WDAS. Later, she studied political science and leadership in global understanding at LaSalle University, where she was on the dean's list, highly qualified, student leader and neighborhood tutor, and
whereas immediately after graduating from LaSalle University, State Representative McClinton enrolled at Villanova University School of Law, where she used her legal training to serve the public. She began as an intern at Regional Housing Legal Services, the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, and the Defender Association of Philadelphia, where she was also an assistant public defender for 7 years. She became the assistant chief of the East Zone during her last year at the Public Defender's Office and helped attorneys with case preparation. And
whereas Representative McClinton is a moxie woman who has learned how to walk on a tightrope backwards with high heels on blindfolded gracefully. And whereas in 2013, Representative McClinton combined her passion for the community and the love of law by becoming chief counsel to State Senator Anthony Hardy Williams, where she worked behind the scenes in the Senator's Harrisburg and the Philadelphia offices, developing policy and the legislation. In her time there, she also organized expungement fairs and public policy forums and helped constituents with community issues impacting her district. A few years later, State Representative Joanna McClinton took the oath of office to serve the people of the 191st Legislative District on August 25, 2015, after winning a special election 2 weeks prior. Whereas Representative McClinton's passion of community service began at an early age, where she was active in her community, where she served as a youth leader at her West Philadelphia home church. Open Door Mission for more than 10 years. As a youth ministry leader, she organized positive empowerment programs for children and young people, mentoring them, reminding them that their dreams can and will come true. Today, she continues that community service, serving still as a volunteer with Outreach to Youth and Hands of Compassion American Sign Language Ministry.
Thank you. She is from the 3rd District, and my only regret is that my colleague beat me to the punch. We like having, we are together. We love having a state rep who is also a lawyer and a preacher. So we are very, very honored and always say that whenever we get the chance. Whereas Representative McClinton currently serves as an elected board member of the LaSalle University Alumni Association Board of Directors, where she helped initiate the Minority Alumni Advisory Group. She has served as the secretary of the Philadelphia Barristers Association, the city's Bar Association of African American Attorneys, and as president of the LaSalle University African American Alumni Association. And whereas Representative McClinton has been acknowledged for her commitment to public service and enhancing the quality of life for residents in Philadelphia and Delaware counties by receiving several awards. They include City and State Pennsylvania's 40 and Under 40, the Barristers Association of Philadelphia's Outstanding Young Lawyer of the Year Award, Successful Women Achieving Goals Women of the Year Award, Fun Times Magazine's Women of Influence Award, the Pre-K for Pennsylvania Champion Award, the Spirit of a Dove Community Servant Award, the Lucian E. Blackwell Guiding Light Community Award, and the Black Gala Women of Excellence Award, and
whereas on Tuesday, November 13th, 2018, my good friend, State Representative Joanna McClinton, was elected by her peers to serve as the chair of the House Democratic Caucus for the 2019-2020 legislative session. Representative Joanna McClinton is the first African American and woman to hold the caucus chairman leadership position. And
whereas Representative McClinton was joined by Representative Jordan Harris, the 186th State House District, who was elected as caucus whip of the House Democratic Caucus, and other younger members of the House, promoting new opportunities that will positively benefit the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I just have to say, because I spent 10 little short years in the Pennsylvania House, that it's not only a big deal because you have to gain the majority of the support from your colleagues in your Democratic caucus, and I just told you this a few seconds ago. Representative McClinton has earned the respect of her colleagues on both sides of the aisle. And if you think that's an easy feat, to have Republicans and Democrats from all over the state respect the integrity of your work, it's a challenge, but you've conquered it.
That's right, that merits another round of applause. We're so very happy, again, the women of council to honor and recognize this colleague. Therefore be it resolved that council of the city of Philadelphia hereby recognizes and honors State Representative Joanna McClinton for for her continued dedication and service to the city of Philadelphia, and we will be a better city because of it, and being elected as the first African American and first woman elected to the Pennsylvania State House Democratic Caucus chair. And further be it resolved that a copy of this resolution will be shared with you as evidence of our sincere respect and admiration of this legislative body. Congratulations.
And the chair recognizes State Representative McClinton.
Thank you, Council President. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Of all of the folks in this city doing outstanding work, I am so humbled to have this time for Councilwoman Sanchez and every single one of these dynamic women who serve our city and council to take time and salute me and encourage me on this new journey. I am thrilled, I'm grateful, and I just have to say, growing up in Southwest Philly with my mom, I would have never, ever thought that I'd have the opportunity to serve my neighborhood in elected office because it wasn't on my grow-up list. My grow-up list was hairdresser, Councilwoman Blackwell and I always laughing about my different styles, lawyer, and preacher. It wasn't about public service, and simply because I didn't know anyone in public service. I didn't have any mentors who were elected. But through my time right across the street fighting for clients, I started to realize some things I couldn't do in court. Some things I couldn't change with an argument or with a jury presentation. Some things were wrong with the law, and it's what led me to Harrisburg in the first place. And then the time that I was there, of course, I was embraced by then our Philadelphia delegation chair, Councilwoman Parker. And of course, I met and had meetings with the lady that was sleeping outside of the governor's office, Councilwoman Gim. But I was also encouraged since I've been in office by Councilwoman Bass. If you don't run, you don't know whether or not you will win. So when the time came for our leadership elections in Harrisburg, you realize to whom much is given, much is indeed required. So through God's grace and my colleagues having confidence, I'm now here to serve in this new capacity, and I appreciate your support and will continue to learn from each of you and serve our city and state and make all of you very, very proud. Thank you.
Love you. Oh my God, you're so great.
Council biddies.